When you walk alone, you walk faster. When you walk in truth, you walk further. Hey there, Sigma ladies. This one's for the silent powerhouses, the under-the-radar queens, the women who don't play the game because they run their own. You ever wonder why people seem shaken by your energy, even when you're just being yourself? Why some folks either obsess over you or disappear completely after one conversation? It's not arrogance. It's not luck. It's you, operating on a frequency most people can't decode. In today's video, we're diving into 10 spine-chilling things Sigma females do without realizing it. Not your typical, she's mysterious fluff. This is deeper, sharper. We're exposing what makes you magnetic, and to some, dangerously unforgettable. So grab your tea, silence the noise, and let's get into it. And before we jump in, if this vibe speaks to you, subscribe to the Sigma Lady. No gimmicks, just real power for real women every single week. And hey, if you want to throw some fuel on this fire, buy me a coffee to support more unapologetic content like this. Links in the description and pinned comment. Let's grow this Sigma Sisterhood together. 1. The mirror effect. A Sigma female doesn't try to expose people, but her presence does. The moment she walks into a room, she becomes a silent mirror, reflecting everyone's inner truth. It's not about being judgmental, it's about being real. And realness, in a world trained to wear masks, is scary. You know the look, when someone talks to you, then starts fidgeting, stuttering, or even getting defensive. That's not your attitude. That's their own insecurities bubbling up. You didn't judge them. You just didn't validate the image they project. Your stillness, your sharp eye contact, your refusal to play small, it makes people see themselves in uncomfortable ways. You see through flattery. You notice tone shifts. You hear the unsaid. And when you respond, not with emotion but with insight, people freeze. Not because you're harsh, because you're accurate. This is why some people idolize you, while others ghost you. It's not personal. They just can't handle the unfiltered version of themselves you bring out. Most people are comfortable only when they're wearing a mask. But around you, the mask slips. That's the mirror effect. It's not something you do, it's something you are. And it's powerful. 2. Emotional ghosting. Without saying a word, you don't send dramatic texts. You don't slam doors. You just vanish. Not physically, emotionally, quietly, strategically, completely. Sigma females have this uncanny ability to pull their emotional energy back before anyone notices. You can feel when a person's intentions shift, when the vibe changes, even slightly, and when it does. You don't fight. You don't argue. You exit the connection silently, like a shadow leaving the room. This is not passive aggression. It's not cruelty. It's emotional precision. You know that trying to fix broken people usually breaks you in the process. So instead of wasting energy on explanations, you let the silence speak. People feel it. They sense when your spirit checks out, even if your body's still there. Your laugh fades. Your tone cools. Your eyes stop engaging. It's chilling because it's so clean, so final. That's what makes Sigma emotional ghosting so unsettling. It's not cold-hearted, it's controlled detachment. You know how dangerous false intimacy is, so you cut the cord the moment trust is breached. You don't need closure. You are the closure. 3. Mastering the no-reaction game. In a world that glorifies overreaction, your stillness is terrifying. When someone tries to provoke you and fails, they start to unravel. Most people need drama to feel alive. You observe instead of react. You let people throw their tantrums, flex their egos, play their games, and you just stand there, still, silent, calculating. You know that silence is louder than any scream. This is your psychological warfare. While others escalate, you stabilize. You don't mirror chaos, you contain it. And the most chilling part, you make it look effortless. This doesn't mean you're emotionless. It means you're disciplined. You've trained yourself not to flinch at manipulation, not to give narcissists what they crave, a show. You starve their need for attention, and in doing so, you dismantle their power. Your lack of visible emotion isn't weakness, it's armor. When others shout, you lower your voice. When they insult, you raise your standards. When they lie, you let the truth catch up on its own. It's not passive, it's powerful. And for people who rely on reactions to feel in control, you are their worst nightmare. 4. Turning small talk into a power test. To most people, small talk is just harmless filler. But to you, Sigma Lady, it's a radar scan. You don't do fake laughs or scripted pleasantries. You use conversation as a tool, a subtle psychological X-ray. When someone tries to warm up with casual talk, you listen, but you're not just hearing words. You're scanning tone, intention, energy. Are they authentic? Are they performative? Are they hiding something behind that smile? The moment someone says, "So, what do you do?" you might reply with something neutral, but follow it with a question that slices through their mask. What drives you to do that? What would you do if no one was watching? Your questions land like darts. And suddenly, small talk becomes a test. You don't even realize you're doing it. It's natural. You can't help but dig deeper. It's not that you're trying to intimidate, but you don't have time for surface-level energy. People either lean in, intrigued, or back away, shaken. It's not about being aggressive, it's about refusing to dilute yourself. You crave depth, meaning, realness. And if someone can't go there with you, they're not in your orbit for long. That's what turns a harmless chat into a pressure test. You ask questions most people aren't ready to answer, and in doing so, you filter out the fake before they even realize they've failed. 5. Being unapologetically unavailable. You're not too busy, you're just selective, and that throws people off. We live in a world where everyone is always reachable, always online, always responding. But Sigma females move different. You guard your time like a dragon guards treasure, and unless someone brings value, peace, or purpose into your space, they don't get access. This isn't some power play. You don't pretend to be busy to seem important. You just know the cost of your time, your energy, your presence. You've been drained before, burned before, so now you protect your peace like a fortress. When people text and you don't reply for hours, it's not because you're playing games. It's because you're not addicted to validation. You're doing your thing, living on your own terms, and when you do reply, it means something. Some people take this personally. They feel rejected, ignored, threatened, but that's on them. You're not here to be available for everyone. You're here to stay aligned with your truth. And here's what's chilling. The less available you are, the more people want your attention. Your time becomes a luxury item, and people chase what they can't easily access. That's the paradox. You're not trying to be desired, you just are, because you're not desperate to be seen. 6. Disarming people with razor honesty. You don't do soft lies or fake comfort. You speak truth, straight, sharp, and surgical, not to hurt, but to clear the air. This honesty disarms people. They expect sugarcoating. They expect flattery. Instead, they get a reality check, delivered without rage or judgment, just clarity. You can look someone in the eye and say exactly what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And that hits different. A Sigma woman doesn't hide behind pleasantries. If you're messing up, she'll tell you. If your story doesn't add up, she'll point it out. Not to embarrass, but to snap you out of the fog. People either grow from it or run from it. Here's the twist. It's not that you enjoy confrontation. You avoid drama. But if truth needs to be spoken, you won't hold it back, even if it makes the room go cold. This kind of raw honesty rewires people. They remember what you said, sometimes years later. Your words don't fade, they echo. And what's even more unnerving, you say it calmly, without raising your voice, without threats, just facts, the kind that make people sit with themselves afterward. You're not cruel, you're precise, and that's what makes your honesty so hauntingly effective. 7. Moving like you know something they don't. There's something eerie about the way Sigma females move through the world. Not rushed, not loud, not desperate to explain or defend. You carry yourself like someone who knows a secret, not about others, but about yourself. And that unnerves people. You walk into a space like you've already sized it up. You speak like you've rehearsed the truth 1,000 times. Even your silence feels loaded, like you're choosing not to say something for a reason. People feel it, and they don't know why they're intimidated. They just are. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. You've studied people, patterns, energy. You're 5 steps ahead, not because you're manipulative, but because you actually pay attention. You know when someone's lying before they finish the sentence. You can smell desperation in compliments. You feel tension when a room pretends everything's fine, so you act accordingly. With precision. You don't over-explain. You don't justify. And when people push, you smile, because you already know what they're trying to do. This energy feels supernatural to the average person, like you're operating with inside knowledge. But the truth is, you've just learned to listen, watch, and choose silence over spectacle. It's not that you know something they don't. It's that you know yourself, and they don't. 8. The isolation that attracts crowds. Most people fear loneliness. You build with it. You've mastered the art of being alone, not as punishment, but as preference. You don't retreat to escape life. You retreat to design it. While others fill their calendars to avoid their own thoughts, you sit with yours. You cultivate peace in solitude. And that's magnetic in a world addicted to noise. People can't understand how you thrive without validation, without attention, without constant social interaction. But that very independence is what pulls them in. You don't chase, so they chase you. You don't overshare, so they're curious. You disappear for days, and when you return, your energy has evolved. It's paradoxical. You isolate to recharge. But the more distant you are, the more people orbit around you. Your detachment creates mystery, and mystery, in today's overshared world, is rare and addictive. But here's the real twist. You're not isolating because you're broken. You isolate because you're building, reflecting, filtering, planning. Your solitude isn't empty, it's sacred. And when people finally earn a space in your presence, they feel the difference. You've done the inner work. You've faced the quiet, and it made you unshakable. 9. Crushing ego battles without a word. Some women fight for dominance with words, with status, with attention. You just let the ego game self-destruct. Sigma females don't need to win petty battles because you see the bigger war. When someone tries to outshine you, you let them. When they throw shade, you don't even flinch. You let silence be your statement. And the longer you don't react, the more their ego burns itself out. This isn't weakness, it's power in pure form. You don't clap back. You don't beg to be seen. You let people show their cards while you hold yours close. It's psychological aikido, redirecting their energy until they collapse under the weight of their own performance. The craziest part, you're not even trying. You just don't engage with nonsense. You've done enough self-work to know that ego battles are traps, and the only way to win is not to play. That kind of restraint, that deep-rooted self-trust, makes people rethink their entire strategy. They expect competition. You give them clarity. They expect you to fight back. You simply exit the game. And in doing so, you crush the ego without ever lifting your voice. 10. Your presence rewrites the room. You don't need to announce yourself. You enter, and the room shifts. This isn't about how you look. It's not about volume or flash. It's about frequency. Sigma females walk into a space with self-contained energy. The kind that makes people stop mid-sentence, reassess their posture, and wonder who just showed up. You don't demand attention, it's given, almost involuntarily. The air feels different, conversations slow, people notice. It's like your presence alters the atmosphere, not by noise, but by weight. You bring gravity, depth, awareness. Why? Because you're not trying to be anything. You're just fully, unapologetically yourself. No role-playing, no performance. And in a world where everyone's trying to impress or belong, that kind of authenticity stings. It forces reflection. It forces recalibration. People either admire it or resent it. Either way, they can't ignore it. You've probably seen it play out. Someone else was the center of attention, loud, laughing, glowing. Then you entered, quiet but present, and slowly eyes shifted. Not because you competed, but because you exist differently. That's what's chilling about Sigma presence. It doesn't shout. It reorganizes. It challenges the script without a word. And the wildest part, you're not even aware you're doing it. That's power, the quiet kind, the rare kind, the kind that leaves echoes after you're gone. So there you have it, Sigma ladies. 10 subtle, spine-chilling things you do without even realizing it. Not because you're trying to be intimidating, not because you're putting on a show, but because you've become the kind of woman who no longer seeks permission to exist fully. You're not playing the game. You've left the arena, and from that vantage point, the world looks different, feels different, responds differently. Some people will idolize you, others will misunderstand you. Let them. Your path isn't built for the crowd. It's carved in silence, sharpened by solitude, and lit by your own fire. That's what makes you a Sigma, not just in name, but in nature. Now here's what you do next. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If this kind of content speaks your language, you're exactly where you need to be. We don't do noise here. We do truth. And if you want to be part of building something even bigger, something built by Sigma women for Sigma women, consider supporting me on Buy Me a Coffee. Links down in the description and pinned comment. Every drop of support helps keep this content sharp, real, and independent. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement of women who don't ask for power. We own it quietly. Until next time, stay rare, stay sharp, and never shrink your silence.